All right. So today we got some espresso coffee. Which I just spilled. 1 second. Unfortunate. But I guess we'll have to do with a little bit less energy. Today we're going to be generating some text blurbs in different languages. And we're going to be using these text blurbs to make our own website. So this is Andrei Karpathy's website. He's basically just a better version of myself, also kind of a robotics, machine learning background, and he has this great website that I do like that is also very minimal. It just has a single HTML and CSS, and if you actually hit Control-Shift-I in Google Chrome, it'll open up the developer tools, and you can actually see the exact elements of this, right? So sources, right? So there's basically two things here. There's this HTML file, and then there's this CSS style file. So really what we're going to do is we're going to use a big text model to generate this text, right? So all this crap here that he has, all this text, we're going to generate kind of generic blurbs that we're going to do in a couple different languages. So let's get back to it. So I found this model here, Big Science Bloom. It's a open science, open access, multilingual language model. Relatively recent, has a bunch of likes, it has kind of an active community, and it has 46 languages. And more important than that, it's a specifically for generation, which is what we want to do. So let's go ahead and use in transformers. So we will go ahead and let's make a Python environment for this. So pyenv virtual env. I always have to keep checking my history for this, but let's do pyenv virtual env, and then we'll say bloom. Okay, then we're gonna go into our dev folder. We're gonna activate our bloom environment. All right. We can actually go to the repo itself. There should be a link somewhere on here for the actual GitHub. Maybe we can just search for it. Big Science Bloom GitHub. Okay, you can actually see that Big Science Workshop. This is now live at, okay, so actually they seem to want to, they seem to make you want to use Hugging Face. So LFS is large file storage, so that's probably going to download the model. So let's actually go ahead, git LFS install. I think there should already be. Git LFS is initialized, okay. And then let's git clone, so we're going to clone this repo here. All right. Okay, that's going ahead and running. Let's open up a new terminal, and we'll go into our Betterer repo, and let's make a directory called website. Actually, we can call it Bloom. Let's go in there. Let's not call it Bloom. Let's call it website. All right. Let's see how this is doing. It's still downloading. Okay. In here, let's make a Python file to run these things. Let's do touch generate gentext.py, and then let's open up VS Code for this. So let's open up our gentext.py, and let's do the proper imports here from transformers. Import Bloom tokenizer fast and Bloom model, and then we'll also import torch. So we don't really know what versions of those dependencies we want, so that's kind of what we're waiting for here. Let's cd into Bloom. TensorBoard, tokenizer, Vim readme. License, Big Science Bloom, programming language. Okay, this is a bunch of crap. Let's git pull. Git pull origin master. Git pull origin main. Sometimes they're called main branch. Okay, we're good. So we're not going to have the right dependencies on here, right? So how do we get the right dependencies for this? Okay, so there's a couple different versions here, by the way. There's 560 million, 1 billion, 7 billion, 3 billion, 1 billion. Bloom for casual LM. Okay. So if we actually go to the here, now autocomplete Bloom tokenizer fast from pre-trained, and we want actually Big Science Bloom 560M, and let's take this and we'll kind of make a variable for it explicitly, model. This is going to be a string. It's going to be that. We're going to call this model name, and we're going to put that there. So we're going to try a couple of these different models. If we go back to Chrome, there was 560 mil, 1B1, and then 1B7. Let's try 3B. 1B7, and then we'll do 3B. I think the bigger ones are probably not going to fit, so we'll just leave it at that. Alright, let's go back here. Model equals Bloom for, I think, Bloom model. from pre-trained model name. Okay. So I think if we try to run this, it's actually not going to work because we don't have the right dependencies. Ooh, accidentally full screen that. So let's go ahead and see what happens if we try to run this, which almost inevitably is not going to work here. And we need to run this in our pyenv activate. We first need to activate our Python environment. Then let's actually run gentext. No module named transformers. Okay, so we're going to need to install pip install. I want to make sure this is right. Module transformers. Pip install transformers. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so you can actually install the torch specific one, so let's go ahead and install that. Hey, little boo. Okay, so it's installing PyTorch and then also transformers. Okay. Oh. So now let's actually try to run gentext. It's downloading the model. Oof, 6 GB model. That is quite thick. I don't know if we're going to be able to run that. Alright, so we're going to delete that. Bloom for sequence classification. That's not what we want. Bloom for token classification. That's not what we want either. Bloom for question answering. That's not what we want either. We want Bloom for text generation. Let's see what this notebook is. Fine-tuning a language model. Show random elements. Okay, they're tokenizing here. Sorry, this is probably tiny. This is more about fine-tuning. Let's say inference using Bloom. Text generation, inference using Bloom. Okay, we got a little... Okay. Here they're using the causal MM and the fast causal learning model and the tokenizer fast, which are the ones that we're using too. While we're here, we can let's actually change the so whenever you're in VS Code, you can change the environment here. If you click down at the bottom, you can choose which Python environment you want to use, and we want to use the Bloom one. So it recognizes the imports. Okay, so here now they're saying we get some globals, including our prompt. So we're going to have some prompt. Okay. The quick brown fox jumps. And we'll leave it at that. And then maybe result length, let's set it to 50. So prompt is going to be a string. And the result length is going to be an int. So let's do inputs tokenizer. No. So we're going to tokenize our input, right? Prompt return tensor PyTorch. Yep. There's probably a language, I bet you. We'll see. Let's go here. Not Bloom config. Does the Bloom model have a language? Using Bloom tokenizer fast. Okay, so Bloom tokenizer fast. Does this have the language? We'll see. There doesn't seem to be a language parameter here, but that's something we can work on later. Let's go back here. Inputs contains the embeddings. Running inference. Which decoding and search strategies with autoregressive transformers? We have a number of options. Explaining the details and the math behind the 3 techniques we'll be trying. Okay, so there's basically 3 different search strategies. There is greedy search. Chooses the next word that has the highest predicted probability. Beam search keeps track of the nth most likely word sequences and outputs the most likely sequence. And then sampling with top K, top P. In top K, we choose the K most likely words and then redistribute the probability mass amongst them before the next draw. Top P adds an additional constraint to the top K. Okay, so we can just 3 different searches. So there's going to be a greedy search. Okay. And the output is going to be model.generate. You're going to give it the input IDs. The max length is going to be the result length. That's going to be the same. And that's all we're going to do. Tokenize the prompt. Oh, got her. Look at that. It already knows exactly what we're doing here. We're going to put this here. We're going to also say search type. And this is going to be a string. And here we're going to say greedy. And then we're going to be conditional here. So we're going to say if search type equals greedy, then yep, do this, except for this do sample. I don't know what that do sample is. Then we'll do elif search type equals beam search. Okay, let's actually give these little descriptions here. Okay, greedy. Beam search. Okay. And then search type, and the last one we're going to say is top K. Top K, top P. Okay, and else will raise value error, invalid search type. Okay. Combination of 3 methods. The next word is randomly chosen based. Top P adds additional constraints. Okay, here you go. Of course, we have to keep installing the formatters. Go. All right. So for the beam search, we need to modify this. Let's actually add spaces here. And we'll print tokenizer.decode outputs 0. Skip special tokens. Nope. We do want it to output the special tokens if that's the case. Okay, so in beam search, you're generating with the model input IDs. Generate input IDs. You have the max length equals result length, but then you also have num beams equals 2. No repeat n-gram size equals 2. And then early stopping equals true. So we don't exactly know what all of those options are doing, but we can tune them and figure them out afterwards here. So for the top K, we have the same input IDs, same max length. There's a do sample equals true. There's a top K. There's a top P. Copilot wants top P of 0.95. In this example, they have 9, and then num return sequences. We'll get rid of that. Okay, let's format this again. All right. So let's go ahead and run this, see what it looks like. Why don't we actually also We'll run our GPU observer here. The current model class is not compatible with generate. Oh yeah, that's right. We don't want Bloom model. We want Bloom model for LM. I think it's for causal LM. And then that's the one that we want to load. Is it for causal LM? Bloom for causal LM. Okay, it's not Bloom model, it's just Bloom. Okay, let's replace that. Let's go ahead and use the small model just to make this a little quicker, and let's run this. Yeah, so you can see the small model is significantly smaller here, 1.12 gigabytes, so smaller than the larger model by a factor of 6-ish. Okay, so this is the use cache, labels, loss, hidden state, passkey values. Okay. Cool, so here we go. This is the output. You guys can't really see it super well, but what it did is it basically took our text, the quick brown fox jumps, and then the output was this. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, 50 tokens worth of it. If we reduce the size of the result, we wouldn't get the same sentence repeated 20 times. So why don't we say who po is, and then see what that completes. Hupo is a very good example of a very good example of a very good example. Okay, this is nonsense. All right, let's try the big model here, the Bloom 3 billion. So we get with that. Python gentext. Come on, come on, come on. A big model takes a lot longer. Okay. Hupo is the average of the two values of the same variable. The values of the variables are the same for all these samples. The values of the variables are the same for all the samples. The values of the variables are the same for all. So there seems to be like a preference here for kind of just repeating the same sentence over and over again. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to wrap this in a function, and then we're going to call it with our different hyperparameters, and then so let's go ahead and instead of printing, we're going to return, and we're going to take all of this here, except for maybe the tokenizer. Yeah, the tokenizer as well. And we're going to put that inside a generate function here. And yep, Copilot does have all the right stuff. We're going to add a docstring here. I don't want the actual, I want just a one sentence. Generate text using the model and tokenizer. I'm okay with that. Orakeshi, hello. Hello. Okay, so what we actually want to input here is, let's go ahead, we need the model name. This is a string. We don't need the tokenizer because we load that. We need the prompt, which is also a string. We need the result length, which is an integer. And then we need the search type, which is a string. And I don't know, we'll say the default is greedy, and the default result length we'll say is 20. And this is going to return a string. I think it's like this. No, it's like this, yeah. Format for us. All right, so now we have our text generation function. And let's go ahead and we'll cut all of this stuff here. We'll put it at the bottom here. Let's do our if name equals main stuff. That's not what we want. Python if name is main, if underscore underscore main equals underscore underscore name. Just tell me, here you go, this is what I want. So what this does is when you put this inside your Python, it'll basically it'll run this first, right? Rather than starting from the top of the file, it'll start from this part here. So if you're kind of using Python files as scripts, you kind of want to have this. Okay. So for model name in we're going to have a bunch of nested for loops here. So I think it's mostly worth trying the big one and then the little one here. So do copy that in there, put it here, add some commas. All right, so now we have a couple different model names. Our prompt, we're going to kind of have that be constant. And result length, let's also have that be constant. And then the search type is going to be for search type in greedy, top K, beam, and top K top. So we'll also do this kind of spacing here so that we can comment things out, right? So if we only wanted to try, if we don't want to try these models, we can comment that out. and then we can run this. So we're going to run all three search types with the small model, the 560 million, and the large model, the 3 billion. Okay. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to say, yep, exactly that. We'll print a couple new lines here. Okay, so we're going to print the model name, then we're going to print the search type, and then we're going to generate the text with the model name, with the prompt, with the result length and the search type, which is model name, prompt, result length, search type. Okay. And let's go ahead and run this. And we should get a bunch of different paragraphs here. And we'll see what they look like. So while that's going on, I think let's close out of this, close out of this, close out of that. And let's say Bloom generating text different language. Okay, back to that, back to kind of the home page here. I feel like somewhere in the Bloom config, config. Labels for language modeling. Maybe you don't need to explicitly set the language. Maybe there isn't a different model for different languages. All you need to do is just change the prompt into something that is French. Let's see if we change it to Spanish, what happens here. Me gusta el, and then we'll see what happens. Okay, we have our different completions here. Hupo is a very good example of a very good example. So, okay, so the greedy search with the small model is terrible. Beam search with the small model. Hupo is the number of times a word appears in a sentence. In the following, we will use the word po to reserve to the frequency. The frequency, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's like kind of going on its own little train here. Top K with the small model. Hupo is an all-natural fruit extract from Chinese plants, widely used for its antibacterial, anti-cancer. Hupo contains many vitamins, minerals, and acids. Okay, this kind of seems like the best one so far. Okay, big model with greedy search type. You have Hupo is the average of two values. The values of the variables are the same. Okay, so the greedy is kind of nonsense. Let's get rid of the greedy. Hupo is the total number of nodes in the network as a binary variable that indicates whether the node is connected. We assume the probability of a node to be connected is proportional to the... Beam search is kind of cool. And then the big model with top K search kind of is weird. So let's continue with beam and top K. And we'll do the small and the big model. And now let's try... Let's try the Spanish prompt. We'll see what happens. Okay, so it does actually have multiple languages within the same model. So you can see here, me gusta el estilo de la novela negra, pero no me gusta que sea tan predecible. Me gusta mucho la forma en la que se desarrolla la trama y la manera en que los personajes se mueven entre ellos. That makes sense. Me gusta el lugar, pero no sé por qué en el país no hay la suficiente actividad cultural para poder llevar este tipo de iniciativas. Creo que lo ideal sería abrir espacios en el aire libre en el centro. Ahí debería estar en marcha algún museo de la música. Okay. We're making progress here, guys. So, we're gonna kind of change it. We're gonna call this the prompt, but the result length here, we're gonna have a different name for this. We're gonna call this. We're gonna have what's called the generated length, and I don't know. Here we're gonna say 10, and the result length is gonna be the length of our prompt. Plus generated length. Actually, this is tokens though. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, there's some guys spamming here. 1 second. Okay, I reported that guy who's spamming right now. Alright, so, because really what we want to do is we want to give this model a bunch of context, right? And then we want it to generate a kind of paragraph. So, what we really care about is not the total length of the prompt plus the generation. We care about the total length. So let's say if our prompt is 3 and we want the final output to, or we want the generated text to also be 3, then we want the result length to be the generated length, which is 3, which is the length of the prompt plus. Actually, I'm not exactly sure. It might be the case that it's already only counting from the end of the prompt. So let's go ahead and run that. Let's actually use the small model here. Oh, sorry. This is not syntactically correct. Let's do that. Alright, so me gusta el estilo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's not because it's tokens, right? So maybe we can do like prompt. Let's do split on the space. All right, so this is number of words. num words in prompt. Okay. Num words in generated. How many words do we want? Say 10. And then we'll say the num words generated is going to be, result length is going to be num words generated, or num words generated minus num words in prompt. All right, let's see what we look like there. So we want at the end 10 total words, and the prompt itself is 3. So me gusta el estilo de la novela negra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cuando voy a mi casa, me gusta el the expanded size of this tensor must match the existing size at non-singleton dimension 0. Yeah, so you need to, it's a plus. So basically you need to have num words in prompt plus num words in generated. Let's call this, I think you can do F2, num words to generate. And we can say num words generated. Cool, and then let's go here. We'll F2 this, and we'll say, so I'm hitting F2, and when you hit F2, you can rename this file in or rename this variable in VS Code, and it'll go ahead and replace all the occurrences of it. So num words generated. All right. So we want 10 total words to generate. Let's go ahead and put that in there. Cuando voy a mi casa, me gusta el aire fresco. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. There should be 18. We do 20 here. What happens? Let's run this again. All right. So we have kind of a rough control of the number of words we want to generate and also our prompts. Go ahead and take this and put it inside our little for loop here. Okay. So we have our little generation blurb here that we can do stuff with. So let's go ahead and save that. And now we actually want to maybe paste more relevant stuff in here. So I'm going to go to my resume. And I'm going to copy some strings here. So let's make a new file here. Touch resume dot we'll say .python. Open it. Resume 2021, I think. Okay. So we have a couple different strings here from my resume. We'll put that there. I'm copy pasting these from my resume. You just can't see it because it's on another screen here. But it's basically just a bunch of things that I did. Okay. Let's just try one of these prompts here. So let's go to here. Let's copy one of these. We'll say prompt equals that. Number of words to generate 20, and generate text. And actually, why don't we say text equals, and then we'll do text dot left strip L strip prompt. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get rid of the prompt. So we're gonna generate the text, then we're gonna strip out the prompt from the front of it, and then we're gonna output the text. Okay. Let's run this, see what happens. We might have just deleted this. No, we haven't. Okay. Target sizes 21, tensor size 90. Num words in prompt. Why don't we print some of this out here? Print num words in prompt. Num words in prompt. Then num words that will be generated, and then we'll say num words generated. All right, num words in prompt. 1. Okay, that's the problem, is that this split isn't actually doing anything here. Prompt.split. There we go. So there's 57 words in the prompt. We want to generate a total of 77. Okay, input length of input IDs is 90. So let's put these inside the actual function here, because we need to get the tokenizer. We need to put it here. So we'll say tokenize the prompt, figure out how many extra words to generate. So we actually want the length of the inputs. And this is not words. This, let's be more precise, tokens. Number of num tokens in prompt is the length of inputs, and then num words generated. We're going to say is num tokens in prompt plus num words generated. Tokens in prompt. Okay. Let's run that. Num words generated is not defined. Num words to generate. Let's put that there. Num words in prompt 2. Okay, so we actually want not the length of input, but the length of input IDs. Input IDs dot shape, we'll say 0. Jesus Christ. Import pdb dot set trace. Let's go. Let's figure out what is actually going on here. Okay, so what is inputs? Inputs, input IDs. Okay, it's a tensor. What is the shape of this tensor? It's 1 and 90, so we want the shape 1. Okay. Let's do F2 here. We'll call this num tokens generated. Okay. Let's exit out of this. Let's clear and let's rerun it. We got to get rid of this trace here. Let's hit continue. Okay, there's 90 words in the prompt. We're going to generate 110. Model, big science bloom, search type beam. And then let's do import PDB here. Let's get rid of the import PDB here. Control D, clear, generate the text. Okay, what is text? Let's make this a lot bigger. Let's do 100. Num tokens generated. Okay. Seems like it's fine. See what we get here. We've got 90 words in the prompt. We're going to generate 190 words. When we look at the actual generated text, maybe the dash S is killing it. Maybe we need to get rid of that. Let's get rid of that end character. No. Sure. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Let's regenerate. See what we have for text. Trying to make this even bigger, see if that does anything. Okay. All right. See what we get now. Okay, we're still not. Maybe something's going on with this paragraph. Let's get rid of that. Let's try with this. I think all this crap we were doing with the size is messing up the model here. I don't think it's actually generating the right thing. So it should generate 509 tokens. Okay, now we hit text. Me gusta estar con mi familia y mi perro y me encanta estar en la playa. Siempre he sido una persona muy activa. Okay. So what if I delete this part of the sentence here? And I get rid of this and I put that in there. Ha! Okay, so interesting to see that when you autocomplete with Bloom, it supposes that we raised a few $100,000 when in reality the startup we made raised over $1 million. So I guess we're doing good based on Bloom's idea. So, okay, I think what might be going on is that Beam limits the final output. So let's split this up. Let's say context, and then let's say prompt. Welcome to my website. I am a, and then we'll say final prompt, or pre-prompt, and then we'll say prompt is equal to context plus pre-prompt. Okay, so I think what we're going to try to do here is we're going to try to kind of have a context where we like kind of prime it to a specific type of thing, and then we have the stuff right before the generation which kind of leads it into the specific paragraph we want it to actually say. So let's do Control D here. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Oh no, we dev betterer website clear python gentext.py. Okay, 28 total words in the prompt. It's going to generate 528 total tokens. All right, here we go. All right, cool. We actually have something here. So, co-founded a company in the machine learning space using synthetic data to improve computer vision. Welcome to my website. I am an erstwhile student at the University of California. I've been working on machine vision for a while now, and I want to share some of my work with the world. I'm currently studying computer science. Co-founded a company. in the About Me section, I write more what motivates me is. Okay. Let's do the big one, and let's do an additional inner loop here. Let's do for pre-prompt in, and then we'll have different sections of the website. So if we actually go back to Karpathy's website, right, we have kind of an About Me section. We have a featured YouTube, maybe consulting type things. Okay, so what motivates me is, let's also do another one. I am available for consulting. On let's do my interests are. Okay, a couple different pre-prompts. Let's get rid of these print statements here just to make it a little bit less busy. Let's go ahead and get these context. Okay. So maybe we can delete these. Plus. So we're concatenating all the different sections of my current resume. And then we'll have that as the context. Let's go ahead and indent this. Then we'll say the prompt is equal to the context plus the pre-prompt. And then we'll say context equals resume 2021 string. Or, yeah, that's fine. All right. Now let's go ahead and generate this. Clear Python gentext. Ooh, add space between the context and pre-prompt. Good idea. Okay, so we'll add a space there, or what if we f-string this? How about that? All right, let's put the else strip again in there. Let's clear, run in. This is going to take a while. Maybe we should have done it with the smaller model, and then just run everything on the bigger model. All right, we need to make this significantly larger. What is the biggest we can do this? Can we do 10,000? Or is this just going to be absolutely insane? Let's look at this max length on the actual big science using transformers. No, we want to know where's the training risks evaluation. More information. Maybe it's here. How do I get to like the API again? Deploy? Nope, that's not what I want. Ah, here we go. Read model documentation. Let's control search here, max length. Max length, and we want Bloom. Overview, resources, Bloom model, Bloom.forward. Yeah, inside here, we want max length. Output attention, output hidden states, return dict. Well, we don't actually want Bloom model. We want Bloom model for causal LM. Bloom config. Bloom tokenizer, Bloom model for causal LM. And on the forward, head mask, input embesh, labels, output attention. Okay, it looks like the beam search is the reason why it doesn't autocomplete the end of it. So let's get rid of beam. All right, so it's using the first prompt, and it says, okay, my goal is to make learning, networking, and connecting by creating a dynamic network ecosystem of individuals that can source inspiration, and motivation to continue learning and sharing valuable insight. I have many projects on my hands already. They include AI, machine learning, robotics, artificial intelligence, software engineering, web development, video game development, robotic control. I am excited about that. It's kind of cool. Let's reduce this again, make this 500. I wonder what happens if you switch the language halfway through. So my interests are, and then we'll say mis intereses son and then look at that. GitHub Copilot knows how to get French in there too. So all right, this is kind of dying over here, so we're going to Control C out of that. I don't think this is actually using the GPU at all, so we're good to go. Let's go back here, save. We're going to run this. Clear, run it. So we're feeding it this context from my resume. We're asking it to generate 500 additional tokens on top of that. Let's call this num tokens. Okay. Max length is just so bad. What is max length? Optional. Int. Max length. The maximum length the generated tokens can have, corresponding to the length of the input prompt plus max new tokens. In general, prefer the use of max new tokens, which, okay. So, I've been doing this wrong the whole fucking time. We can just get rid of all this crap. And say max new tokens. Max new tokens, max new tokens. Holy shit, this generated a lot. So, ciencia y matemáticas, geometría y computación. Mis intereses son náutica, mi pasión son tecnología de la información y comunicaciones. Mi lema, no tienes tiempo para nada. Sunshows is an open source system. Is this Sunshows even real? Is that like, did that just get, did this model just make up some random open source toolkit? Sunshows. What the hell is that? Alright, we got a Russian coming in here. Let's see. I can't actually read Russian though, man, so we're not gonna know if it actually does anything. So let's make this significantly smaller. Let's do 100. And let's just do this small model first. See what we get. Research team members are Dr. Peter Kot. Is this a real guy? Oh god, we just keep Control-Cing. Dr. Peter Kot. Kot AI. Pediatrics. No, this is just like random local search results. Holy crap. What is going on here? Automotive. What the hell? Okay, here we go. Is this actually useful? Let's see. Communicating on common waters, take a look here. Input list messages. All participations are established by authorizes. Okay, so I can't even read your name, man. I apologize, but you're suggesting that this is roughly with EPE tokenization, the number of words is roughly 3x the number of tokens. Okay, so num words to generate. Oh, it's 3 times, or is, I don't know, we'll say 100 words, and then here we'll say 3 times num words to generate. Thank you for that. Okay, I think maybe there's just too much going on here. There's a lot of special characters and crap. I think let's do a shortened resume. And we're just gonna copy paste the kind of like good things here. So co-founded, blah, blah, blah. We'll start with that. This, maybe the all caps CTO is messing with it. New prototype. I was on the team that organized the challenges. That seems pretty straightforward. And then we'll say, there we go. How about that? So this is a reduced version of the resume string that we had up there. Let's run this. Let's do beam again. Maybe it's just the small model. Maybe if we ran this with the big model, it would be better. Why does beam search generate just ends sentence? Bloom generation ends early. Holy shit, this is nonsense at this point. This is straight up Chinese. What is going on? This was working so much better earlier, and now it's just dead. Let's see. See the interface. If you're trying to write your own program, case studies, you can mostly attempt a real course, your rectangular space. I mean, this kind of is nonsense, but at least it's like technical nonsense, you know? Les sciences de l'ingénieur et de la technologie. Je suis passionné par la physique et la mécanique des fluides. J'adore les mathématiques et les statistiques. J'ai une grande passion pour la science de l'information et des communications. This is pretty good. This is actually valid right here. Mes connaissances en informatique et en mathématiques sont très approfondies et... this is wrong. Et je suis très doué pour les langues étrangères. That's also correct. All right. Mathematics, what interests me is, and then it's semicolon, mathematics, and physics. I also want to see science fiction books, so I'm interested in any genre. Okay, so I have no idea why it chose Chinese text there. The Russian text is kind of nonsense, but at least it's technical nonsense. The French text is actually pretty good. We recently launched picking challenges. Challenges highlight the importance of high quality. We will run several competitions, so it's no good. Let's delete that. Let's make this a little bit smaller, say 50. And let's go ahead and do the big model. Je suis passionné par la modélation. So the Spanish ones always end. My interests are, mis intereses son. So we'll add a period at the end of that. Okay, let's try it with the big model, see what happens. All right, this big model takes a long time. So in the meantime, let's actually start building the HTML and CSS here. So go back to this website. Let's literally copy paste all of this. Let's make a Control-Shift-T. Make this bigger. We're going to touch say main.html, and then we're also going to have a style.css. So go back to here, we'll open main HTML, we'll paste that in there, and then let's get the CSS as well. And we'll put the CSS in here. Style, paste. Let's actually remove this resume.py that we had there. Okay, we'll go to the fourth one here, close out of that. Let's go back to our terminal. Okay, we're getting some results here. So this is the big model with beam search, and these already look a little nicer. So let's go back to our gen text. So my interests are, and then it says machine learning and data science. I'm currently working as a senior software engineer at a startup in Silicon Valley. In my role, I am responsible for building. Okay, this is all pretty good. Okay, we'll see what happens with the Spanish one. That's the one that kept ending early. Okay, getting some good advice here. Try to wiggle the temperature parameter in the generate, like to 0.8. In the generate. So you're saying that inside of this, can I click on this? Come on, I was clicking on it before. Go to definition. Get on there. All right, I think we might actually have to Bloom tokenizer fast. We're gonna go here into Bloom. And then we're we're going to Control Shift F everything in here. Let's copy relative path, and we're going to search for generate. Control Shift F, Control F. Goddamn, guys. Control P. Yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, so you're saying that somewhere here there's a temperature. Temperature logits wrapper. Temperature logits wrapper. Get logits wrapper. Temperature. Generate temperature. Temperature float defaults to model config temperature or 0.1 if the config does not set any value. The value used to module the next token probabilities. Okay. Let's go back to our gentext. We'll add it as a quarg here. So float, we'll make it 0.8. And let's put it in there. Bam. We'll go here. Multi-cursor. Here and here. And then we'll add it right there. We're going to hit save. We're going to format. We'll see what happens there. Okay. So, data science and computer science. Mis intereses son. What is this? What does that stand for? Translate. Information and photographs. Maybe this actually means like computer vision. This exact word. What is this word? Is it literally photographs or is it like vision? I have no idea. Okay. I think it actually is photographs though. Mes intérêts sont la mathématique, les mathématiques, l'informatique et la programmation. These are correct. And here now you have top K-NOP. Artificial intelligence, data science, deep learning, machine learning, blah, 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 especially computer vision. Excellent and very professional advisor. He helped my students secure a fantastic position. This guy is top notch. This is so weird. Now you have the Spanish one outputs Chinese. What does this even mean? Nope, that's not the one I want. I want this. Basketball, guitar, piano, guitar, dancing, walking, and cooking. I mean, I like some of those things, but that's not what I was going for. Okay. So this is still going. Let's what else can we do here? We have the different temperature here, so why don't we actually try a couple different temperatures? For temperature in 0.8, why don't we try like a 0.3, 0.8, and then 1.0, which I think is the Standard. Okay. Let's get rid of the Spanish one just because it's nonsense. We'll do the French, Russian, and the 3 temperatures. Do that. Let's move this up here just so it's obvious that the prompt is being built there. Actually, no, let's put it back down there. It's a better way. And then we'll do temperature equals temperature. I am a fan of open source software, Python. I'm not a fan of JavaScript, but I am a fan of C#. I hope that you get some useful information on my post on AI. If you're looking for quality with a perfect companion, then you've come to the right place. Call a local mature lady for the adult chat right now. If you think online dating is just for teens, think again. Dating mature... Okay, this is hilarious. Somehow this triggered some like paragraph about old singles. Let's go back here. Let's open up the translate for the bajillionth time. Put that in there. Digital fragments, devices with social networks. That seems fine. Okay. Go ahead. We'll let's actually print the temperature here. Model. Let's actually make this a little bit better. I think it's easier to read when you search type. Let's do temperature. Come on. Temperature. As the company grew and grew over the years, the focus became on the products, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's generate that text. Generation utils. Let's get into this HTML here. Email. Okay, so what sections do we not care about here? Publications. Okay, I kind of like this like little header section here. Let's keep that little header section. I think that's this here. History, empty row, empty row, empty row. Featured talks. I do like that section. This is where I could put like videos or something. So let's control F. Featured talks, featured talks, featured talks, featured. Okay, let's replace featured talks with featured videos. Go ahead and replace that. Save, and then we'll call this featured video. Actually, Do we want that title? I feel like that title doesn't look that great. Anyways, just get rid of that. Let's get rid of this title. Okay. If we look at the style, is there a featured talks? Featured talks, yeah. Just get rid of these. Place both of those. Okay. I wonder if there's a HTML viewer for VS Code. VS Code HTML viewer. Can I preview HTML there? No, VS Code does not have built-in support for HTML, but extensions. Open the extensions, okay. So we can download an extension here. HTML snippets, HTML CSS support, 12.2 million downloads. This just kind of seems like the one we want. 647K downloads, 5 stars. Anybody have a preference on HTML extensions? Okay, let's just install this one. Okay, so now if we close out of this, can we preview this? Okay, this is going in the background, by the way. We're generating some text, if you just joined, based on a prompt from my resume, and then we're kind of auto-completing after that at different temperatures. So seeing how the temperature affects the prompt. So actually here, let's look at these three. So we gave it the resume, then we kind of gave it this like pre-prompt, which is what we wanted to actually auto-complete here. And we said, my interests are, let's make this a little bit bigger for you guys. And then we have here 3 different temperatures. We have 0.3, 0.8, and 1.0. So machine learning and data science. I'm currently working as a senior software fitness plans. So kind of looks like the temperature didn't actually change this. Maybe we inputted it incorrectly. Maybe temperature only works if something else is also enabled. If is sample gen mode. Is beam sample gen mode. Okay, where does this come from? Is beam sample gen mode. Num beans greater than 1. If and not, and do sample is true. So I think we need to put this do sample here. Num beam groups is greater than num beams. Yeah. Do sample is wait up. Do we want is beam gen mode or is beam sample gen mode? No, I think we want is beam sample gen mode. Yeah, this is where we actually get the temperature. So we need the sample gem beam, which is what we have here now. Num beans. But what else do we need for is beam sample gem mode? We need beam groups is equal to 1. We need do sample true, which we have, and not is constraint gen mode. Constraints is not none, and force word IDs is not none. I don't think that's the case. And then is contrastive search gen mode. Top K is not none, and top K greater than 1, and do sample is false. Penalty alpha is not none. Okay, so I don't think it's going to work here because we have stuff here. So the temperature will only work for the beam. Okay. La mécanique, les mathématiques, l'informatique, et la programmation. These are still working pretty good. Let's go ahead and close out of this, though. Let's rerun this with the beam sampling fixed so that it actually uses the temperature. All right. Now let's go back to our main page here. Let's go ahead and make sure that this is ripped off of Andre. Let's make sure we reference the page here, carpathy.ai. We're actually going to rename this to, let's control B. We want to go here. So rename this to x.html. Okay. dpic. Probability tensor contains either inf, nan, or element. Beam sample, line 3, generation 18, 3107. Do we have a better stack trace? In generation utils, line 1621. Ooh. 1621. Input IDs, beam score. Num beams 3. don't know, man. It's not liking it. It's not liking the temperature. Let's rerun it. ID D email. Division. Entry row. Okay. Let's actually get rid of some of these. Okay, you do need to have an image source. Get rid of these. Okay, so we're probably gonna have 6 on our website, if I had to guess. Div class container. Okay, what is this? So this is the talks, then you have the featured writing, teaching, featured writing, and pet projects. Get rid of pet projects and featured writing and teaching. And also get rid of the miscellaneous unsorted. Okay. So let's get rid of the teaching, pet projects, we do want the publication. We obviously don't have anywhere near as many publications as okay, then we have the email. Let's take this. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of most of these. I just have a handful of publications. There we go. Alright, we've kind of removed most of these. You can reach me at hugo.p.cmu@gmail. Actually, let me give you this one. Okay. We've deleted most of these things except for the history. Put that in there. Let's go ahead and directory assets. Okay. Then we can go to the website here. Control-Shift-I. We'll go into assets. Can I download all of these? I don't think I want all of these. I just want... I want these. Download. How do I download this? And we want to save it in Tren dev better website assets. We want to save it there. All right, close out of that. We also want the GitHub one. Save image as. Show in folder. Okay, sure, it's saving it in our downloads folder. What about this one? Nope. What about... Nope. Nope. Sure, let's download this one. Save as css.save. Why don't we do that with the GitHub one too? Open image in new tab. Save as, we'll do that, sure. Let's see. I don't have a Twitter, so we don't need that. Okay. I think that's all we need there. Save that. Let's go back to our text here. L'informatique. Okay, this kind of started auto-completing into some kind of job search type thing. Mathématiques, les sciences de la vie et les algorithmes. La société a été rachetée par IBM en 2010 et elle s'est transformée en une équipe de recherche et développement. Mes intérêts sont l'informatique, les mathématiques, les sciences de la vie et les algorithmes. Okay. These aren't honestly that great, to be honest. Let's see if we can what else can we do here? How can we modify this so that maybe we get a little bit something more interesting? How about we add this sentence? What if I add more I's in here? I designed, I co-founded, right? And you're kind of prompting the model to maybe make it a little bit more egocentric, right? Where it's like talking about itself rather than necessarily just saying a bunch of technical things. I wore many hats. I hired and managed the technical team. I was on the team. I graduated from CMU. I have experience with TensorFlow, Colab, PyTorch, Unity, C#, SQL, MATLAB, Python. Okay, yeah, all those make sense. I don't know about C++ and C# though. I think those special characters might just kill it. Whatever, let's just check it out. Alright. And let's generate a little bit more. Okay. Let's clear, and then we'll generate more. Okay, how do I... I think I can just open it in Chrome, right? File. And let's do this path. Website, and then we'll do index.html. Alright, there we go. So now we have a way to kind of visualize our website. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I will be back. Alright, We're back to it. So, let's look at the generated text that we got. Still getting a lot of -s. What is this token? Why do we need to add start and end symbols? My generative model just adds a end token. My areas of expertise are neural networks, deep learning, reinforcement learning, and Python. I've been learning Python for 3 years, maybe in the context of machine learning. I've studied neural networks using PyTorch, PyTorchX, and the Keras. I've also spent some time. I've been research scientist since 2017. There's just like these big text models, like it kind of looks plausible, but like there's a lot of contradictory stuff here, right? If it's been learning Python for 3 years and you were a research scientist for 2017, then it has to have been longer than that, right? Okay. I think the Russian guy left, so let's comment out the Russian part. I am available for consulting. French. Je suis disponible pour les missions de conseil. It's not exactly what I want. I want technical consulting. Conseil technique. Je suis disponible pour du conseil technique. Spanish. Consultoría técnica. Soy disponible para trabajo de consultoría. I have worked at Google Brain, Amazon Robotics, and Silicon Valley startups. Let's get rid of the full resume. Let's clean up this script here. Okay. I have designed, trained, and analyzed deep reinforcement learning systems, computer vision, okay. Let's say Chief Technology Officer. I've worked at Google Brain, Amazon Robotics, blah, blah, blah. I graduated from CMU with a master's degree in robotics and dual degrees in physics and mechanical engineering. I have experience with PyTorch, TensorFlow, Joko, Unity, Unreal Engine, Python, C#, C++. I am experimenting with protein folding and large language models. All right. So I think this is probably the cleanest, smallest summary I can put. I kind of want to have a breadth to it, but I want to have specific key terms, but I really want this to kind of be a little bit better. Let's L-strip the context, not the prompt, and let's go ahead and run that. Okay. I make technology. I build technology. Let's get rid of the Twitter. We'll do the GitHub. Oopo. Let's search for a YouTube logo SVG. How about this one? YouTube SVG. Save. See if we can get it there. Site assets, we have our YouTube SVG, okay. Let's do YouTube com/@hupo, and then we'll do the assets youtube.svg. We'll do the Medium article, and then we'll do the email. See email cursor, click to reveal. Let's go to Medium. We'll search for my Medium. It's quite old. There's not a lot of stuff in it, to be honest, but hupo.medium.com. We'll go back to our website here. Is this actually a working link? Let's make sure. Yep. VS Code, nope. Hugo Ponte, okay. Here, let's hit refresh. Okay, the youtube.svg is not loading. So we need a SVG file. Okay, that's the one we actually want. So let's move, let's make this big for you guys, from downloads, YouTube almost black.wine SVG, and we're going to move it to our dev better website assets, and we're going to replace the YouTube SVG that's there. Alright, let's close out of that. Let's refresh. Alright, we have our little YouTube logo. Is there a better one that's like inside a circle? Maybe not. If we open this, what do we get? Okay. I wonder if we can make the GitHub SVG or the YouTube SVG a little bit bigger. HTML increase image size. HTML increase image size. Okay. So I mean, it's there. It kind of looks almost like it's good, but maybe not. Let's go back to VS Code. Let's open up Chrome next to VS Code and let's start substituting some stuff here. History. Okay, can we look at flag emojis? List of flag emojis for copy paste. Let's do France. Copy. Let's do Spain. Copy. And let's do America. Maybe USA. United States. Here we go. Copy. Put that in there. Okay. Okay, so there's some stuff here that we can copy. Okay, what if I put here, make another div here. Class container. Okay, we'll put that there. We're gonna have a C title. We're gonna say about me. And then here, not header 2, we want H text, header text. And let's see what that looks like. Put those emojis in there. Let's see what that actually looks like. About me. Perfect. Maybe I delete that and I just do this. What does HR do? Is that a correct LinkedIn? Okay. I was like, holy shit. GitHub Copilot knows my LinkedIn. I am available for consulting work. Okay. Apparently GitHub Copilot can be used to translate. Okay. Let's put this above the timeline. Yeah, we need a HR here. All right, now we just need to copy information from my LinkedIn. So let's go to LinkedIn. Let's go to my profile. And we're going to copy some stuff from here. CMU, save. So we're going to say 2022. Save image as hupo.jpg. And if I say hupo.jpg, what does that look like? Oh, it's JPEG, okay. Back up here. History hupo.jpeg. Let's go back to our website, refresh it. Perfect. entry dot description. Okay. I'm going to say 2021. And we're going to download this. Save image as 1b.jpg. Then we're going to save image as sumalabs.jpg. I'm going to save image as Google brain.jpg. And we're going to save image as sorrow.jpg. And then we're going to save image as amazon.jpg. Okay, I feel like this is officially past the point of being useful and fitting the text description. So I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here and finish this. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow.